Ninjas are butterflies.
I was so curious to ask you, because I've never watched any Bachelor seasons. I was like, this doesn't seem like how the normal rose ceremony should go. It didn't feel, I thought like both of them two would be there.
Yeah.
And then he chooses.
It's because Gary's such a good guy. He didn't want to embarrass Leslie.
Yeah, but he also could have done it in a different way, I think, right?
No.
Spoiler. Yeah, I think he could have waited till the next morning or something and told her calmly instead of emotionally. I feel like
it was a true breakup. Like, how do you normally break up with someone?
Yeah, but
email.
Because I think the other way is that he just doesn't show up to the engagement, right?
No, in normal Bachelor, like what a normal Bachelor would have done is that she would have gotten all dressed up.
Yeah.
Showed
they
up
both stand there.
thinking.
Yeah.
No, at different times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do it at different times, so
Okay.
you don't know. And she would have been all dressed up and then embarrassed because he would have rejected. He would have told her that.
I'm saying do it in the morning or something.
Yeah.
They did, like, it was late at night. They already said goodbye. It's like, just deal with it when emotions have cooled, because that's why she was so angry. And then it's like immediately just like
I thought it was so cool of him, only because he couldn't hide his true emotions. That's why it happened. Like he was looking at him and he said,
yeah, but they said he
"Be
loved you to
happy."
both of them. It's like he
I
said
know.
it to both of them. Like, stop it.
He said, "Be happy," and she was like, "What, do you have something to say to me?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
Also, yeah, but he didn't go around the right way because he was weird about it.
"Yeah, I would be worried about it. It was a breakup.
No, I know, but go in it with a plan, dude.
Try to be Gary."
Hey, I'm saying
Spend one day in Gary's shoes.
spend the night mulling it over, thinking of how you want to say it if you can't say it right.
Yeah.
Say it right. She deserves that. And it's like,
Does she?
But it made for more drama and whatever. I was like, Leslie's going off on this, dude.
Yeah.
She was going crazy.
Josh
but-
said, I was kind of team Leslie. I honestly kind of like still am.
Yeah.
No.
Ellen.
Josh thinks that she's
No,
crazy.
Leslie was fake. She would have gotten bored. She was so jealous. Whenever he was going to see Teresa, she got so jealous. Like, she did one of those things where it's like, you just kind of like stop talking in the morning. And he's like, okay, I'll see you later. And she's like, because she knew he was going to Teresa. It's like, that's not who you want. Like, someone's just going to guilt trip you just because you're doing so. Like, you signed up for the show. You knew what it was, Les.
What?
Talking about it from your perspective.
She's like, I disagree with Andy. I want to know if Josh
No,
agrees.
I'm just saying I would have been totally Leslie.
Hey, you said that. I didn't say that. Why are you getting mad at me?
Because you would have been like, hey, I got to go see Teresa. And I would have been like, okay.
But you signed up for it. That'd be unfair for you to throw
Yeah.
shade at him and make him feel bad because you feel bad. You signed up. You knew if I got here, I'm lucky to be in the top two. But he's going to be also seeing another girl.
Hey, Gary's lucky.
Gary is a very lucky man, and I'm glad he's finally getting married.
But you know what's interesting is that your mom was like, she texted me and she was like way ahead of us. She said, I'm mad at Gary. And then my mom was like, I don't like Gary anymore. And I'm like waiting for this horrible thing to happen that never happened. And I'm like, you try to be Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about his past that they're bringing up now?
Yeah, I don't know if that's real.
No, it's 100% real.
He had a girlfriend that
He had a girlfriend. And he started texting a girl a month after his wife passed.
Wasn't it one of the nurses?
Yeah, it was one of the nurses. And it's like, you can't judge everyone's life journey, but it's just like for that to be out in the open. Like, it's like maybe don't talk about it for a while. And then it doesn't look mysterious or weird.
Well, it's something like that, but it's also like, I don't know. Maybe
I'm just
this is
imagining like 20
insensitive.
years from now, we look like Gary's like this mass serial killer. Like this whole time, like he's like Jeffrey Dahmer was like, we knew it.
I just had to kill her.
The voices in my head just wouldn't stop.
I just couldn't get it out of my head. I'm sorry.
So I picked up the axe.
It's just weird because it felt like the producers were trying to tell this story of like him still not being completely over Tony. But he was dating somebody a month later. Weird.
Wacky. But hey, mazel.
Hey, Mazel. Gary.
Congrats.
Yep.
Do you guys remember who it was I picked? I said she looked like him.
I think he picked Joan.
That sounds right.
Oh yeah, Joan. Yeah,
Everyone, a lot of people picked the 60-year-old, the youngest person
Yeah.
there.
I thought when they first showed the lineup, I thought it was going to be the gray-haired beauty.
I think
She didn't even make it till like round 2 or something.
a lot of people are saying that Joan needs to be the first Golden Bachelorette.
Yes.
I think people would be psyched for that. Obviously,
That would
I'm
be
so
interesting.
yeah, it'd be good, right?
Yeah.
I love this show. I love this spinoff.
Would you watch any of the other like that kind of shows like in MTV days? Like they had the Rock of Love, they had Flavor of Love with Flavor Flav. Do you remember that?
Forgot about all
Dude,
of that.
Flavor Flav. I can't believe I was allowed to watch that. It was
I
basically
don't think I ever saw it.
it was literally Flavor Flav the rapper, and it
Yeah.
was just 20 women who just fought over him like crazy. And there's like
Weird.
spit flying at one point. It was nuts, man. I was like, why is this a thing? This is a crazy concept. I was like, I literally was watching the final episode, and I was just like pulled into the drama. I was like, this is so dumb, all this stuff.
I love it.
And I was like, Jesus, think about all this.
Did you guys,
I know.
I don't think he would like it.
did you guys
would
ever
like this.
ever watch Jersey Shore?
No, I
No.
always saw like the clips and
A little
stuff,
bit.
but yeah, I never watched it.
Dude, that took over when it came out.
That's one of those things. That was like a cultural impapt.
Yeah.
People talk about like making like movies or TV shows that like literally changed the culture. That was one of them.
GTL.
Gym Tan Laundry.
Yup.
What is that?
I have no idea.
They would
Gym,
have like on
tan,
Sundays.
laundry.
Yeah, they
Got
would
it.
always go to the gym and tan and do laundry. It was like their
That's
hilarious.
funny.
They're-
That's why the show was hilarious, though, is because they'd just be doing basic tasks, but like owning it. They're like, yeah, gym tan laundry every day.
Every day. Did you see that? It was like a podcast of Tucker Carlson and Roseanne Barr.
no.
They were just talking about the Nephilim.
What?
They're talking about like politicians and stuff that like aren't human, and they're like, because they don't care about humanity anymore. And then Tucker's like, yeah, he's like, don't know anything about theology and stuff, but I like the Nephilim. And then Roseanne's like, yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So Roseanne was like way in on it. Tucker was just throwing it out there, kind of like whatever. But like,
Yeah.
it was really interesting that like I'm like, what a weird world we're living in with the Gasolina guy.
Yeah.
Yes!
And it's like
Amazing.
all these people.
Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, I mean, we listen
Yeah.
to podcasts, Andrew Schultz podcast, where they're literally talking about the Bible and reading out like all these weird
Wait,
things.
Andrew
of-
Schultz a ginger?
no,
No,
that's
Oh.
Santino.
Santino.
Andrew Schultz is the one, the flagrant. He's the New York guy. Weird haircut.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird, man. So it's stuff like that. Like that's crazy.
I know.
It's like it's weird to have like a politician that's universally known saying the Nephilim, like just like that's mentioning it, knowing that reference.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Dude, you should do the reverse of his haircut.
Whose haircut?
Andrew Schultz.
Oh, just
have a
just
hard
the
line.
sides.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's makes you wonder if there is like people living today that have this bad gene mix
Yeah.
or that were, I don't know,
Yeah.
like the modern day Nephilim, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're not giants, they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Lily, I didn't tell you I finished Mother God. You need to watch it, Andrew. There's a fun Hawaiian twist in the third episode.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like
my
it's
gosh.
like it's one of the main stories of like there's 3 episodes. The final
Give,
finale.
give me like the thesis of the show.
You'll
Okay.
you'll
show
love
or
it.
movie?
You-
Show?
Yeah, we
Show.
talked about it last week
Yeah,
with
but he
Corey.
wasn't on it. Oh, yeah, you were there. Okay. Well, let me talk about the Hawaiian part. Can I talk about it?
Sure.
Or did you want to talk about
No,
it?
you gotta go.
Okay, so you know this woman, she's like a cult leader, and she drank all that silver and turned blue and mummified herself.
Gotcha. That story. Okay.
They're like hopping all over the country at one point just because I think she just has this like internal crisis where she's like, this is totally going to kill me and I want to travel and stuff like that.
Sidebar. She
Yeah.
didn't want to go,
True.
but Jimmy or whoever did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he just wants a vacation.
He just, yeah, because he's spending all of her money.
Yeah, he's gonna like, oh, we got to connect with Nate. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you want to go see nature, like,
Yeah.
and you want to just spend money and go to buffets and stuff, dude.
Exactly. But at this point, she started to get a little bit of fame with her like mother God thing. Like she thinks she's God.
She just got off Dr. Phil.
Yes.
And
that's
she
what it
was, she told him where she was. She Skyped Dr. Phil from in Hawaii, and she was letting people know where she was.
And she had, when they arrived, they were received by a mob basically though too. So they were like, we don't want you in our
Oh,
country.
really? Yeah.
You're like trash. And then she does this thing later where she's live streaming and she says that she is the Hawaiian goddess Poa or something
Yeah,
like that
one of their the god or whatever. I can't remember.
of the volcano.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, the goddess of the volcano, and the natives obviously lose their mind on
And
her.
so you have this is recent. This is past 2-3 years ago.
It was during COVID,
Yeah, so you see videos of like people outside her house throwing things, like chanting, like it's wild, man.
Yeah. And then everybody gets so mad about it, and they end up fleeing Hawaii. Like, basically, the people of Hawaii kicked them out of the island, and they go back, and that's when she's like, "Okay, time to die."
Dude, it was
Dude,
it is not for the faint of heart. Like,
No.
it is a tough doc to watch.
I even hate still talking about it because all the
Yeah,
images
I
are coming
just
back
want
to my head.
yeah.
I can't unsee what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
Hawaii holds it down though. Like you literally can't go over there and mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
seriously.
we're gonna allow you to be here, but it's like don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
disrespect, because at that point then it's like then you're forcing our hand.
Yeah,
Golly, that was a wild documentary.
it was crazy. Wasn't it so savage of them for like the first 2 seconds of the show to show her mummified corpse?
Wild. It was a really don't recommend it for everybody, but it's on Max. If you can handle that kind of stuff, it is a fascinating case, because it was so funny listening to how like their this one person started into that cult, because it was like, oh yeah, I started just like, like questioning the moon landing,
Yeah.
and then like and then every single thing that he mentioned, I was like,
We've talked about it.
Josh.
Literally joking. I went, uh-oh, every time he named a new thing.
And it was
And I
it
even
got
went,
more
uh-oh.
specific to the point where it's like, okay, how did that's something we just talked about.
Wait, it's a gateway.
Yeah, so it's like, but like those people were searching
Yeah.
and didn't have the answer first.
Yeah.
Luckily, we feel secure in our answer and our choice, and now we get to explore these oceans of thought and compare it to the truth.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny because I was like, this is
I remember hearing
Josh.
that. I'm like, no, don't say that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dang.
everyone who's gonna be watching this documentary is like, you just described my favorite podcast.
How funny is it though that this guy was like the biggest advocate for the cult or whatever. He's been there since the beginning, and then as soon as she dies, he's like, I gotta drain all the bank accounts and dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. That guy was schemy. You know those guys that start off on the ground floor of like a really young company, or like she didn't know much, but he knew that he could make money off of her.
Yeah.
So it's like this guy that's always on his laptop, always very serious, and I'm the one that holds the money. It's like, that guy's bad news.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see
I
that
called
come
it from the get-go.
from a
though.
mile
Like,
away.
That guy's. I called him Judas. Like
'Cause
he's
he
gonna
didn't fit.
become the Judas.
He didn't fit at all.
No.
But you saw it later on. He knew how to start saying the right things and stuff.
Yeah.
He only got increasingly more stylish as the cult grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody started looking like more deranged.
It's like a mega church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then everybody else, he's like, oh, you don't get it yet. You've not been here long enough. You can't order a pizza
Yeah.
because
it
we
has to-
don't eat.
Yeah, and like everything has to run through me. Like I buy the things.
Yeah. So
like-
weird.
But it was
That's weird.
But it was so strange with like how normal the people felt.
yeah.
Like the other people, like how just normal they looked, how normal they like sounded.
Yeah.
But it's like, but then you're saying that cloud's a starship,
Yeah.
I know.
and it's like, so you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what's bonkers to me. And like, I don't want to ever get to the point where I believe in something that like, if someone comes up to me and says you're wrong, I'm never going to be like, get out of my face, I hate you.
Yeah.
I'll always be like, tell me more about that. like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
tell me why you think I'm wrong.
Unless it's free will.
Listen.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
We do not want to get into that.
So they said that she died
David might.
of silver and alcoholism and extreme anorexia. But Josh and I were talking, we think she also was doing meth.
Oh yeah, the guy was doing meth, so
Yeah.
yeah, she had to have.
Yeah.
Because she was getting
teeth-
messed up every single night. And at one point, you got to start trying the harder stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, speaking from experience, I am a current meth addict. And, I'm fine with it. I can control it.
No,
Fine.
you could definitely see that she was doing meth too, because like you see like people that do crystal meth and stuff, they like
You see
they
the teeth first, too.
Yeah, teeth, but then it looks like they age like 30 years
Yeah.
in like a year. You know,
Yeah,
it's
she's
just
I
like,
couldn't believe her before photo, the cover of the actual
know.
documentary. I was like,
yeah.
when's this? I literally thought like, is there another character coming in for the next episode?
Yeah.
And I had to look, and I was like, that's actually her. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It's
But
ugh.
it makes you wonder what snapped, and it seems like it was the drugs, because she was at McDonald's and stuff,
Yeah.
and then it's like whenever she tried, it was ecstasy or
Ecstasy.
something. She
Yeah.
says this is different, and then she just started chasing stuff, and
Yeah.
and it's like this girl was like obviously could have been very successful, had kids and everything.
She obviously had childhood trauma which I think they highlighted
They didn't really.
well.
They didn't. What do you mean? They didn't really talk about it.
Her mom
It was the way
like,
that her mom would answer questions.
Yeah, very controlling, but it didn't seem like.
Well, no, neglectful.
It wasn't like it wasn't like
Yeah.
the terrible like traumatic like that you look at like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff like.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
more
we don't
psychological.
know. We don't know. There could have.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they went into it enough for me.
Yeah, well, there could have been a weird neighbor or uncle or something that happened, and the mom didn't protect her because did you see?
Or even the dad. Who
Or the
knows?
dad,
Yeah.
because he disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the mom, like when she's like, "I'm dying, come
Yeah.
get me,"
That's
and
wild.
they didn't go.
Dude.
Yeah.
Could you
I got.
imagine?
Dude, I'm sorry. We're spending so much time on this, but I got so mad at that,
know.
dude.
Love your children, people.
So did
Oh my gosh.
trauma and like faith and conspiracy go hand in hand?
Trauma. No.
Because you were saying like the on ramp, the person in the cult,
Yeah.
that they did the same thing.
No,
No,
I think
that guy
conspiracy
was-
becomes
Yeah.
like when something happens, you're like, wait, if I can't trust that, what can I trust? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I was
that-
just trying to give you a chance to open up, Josh.
That guy was kind of healthy mentally, I would say, compared to the rest of the group, because I think that he was just searching
Yeah.
for what we know is the Lord.
Gotcha.
All these people were searching for something that obviously was misplaced, but he ends up leaving the cult and trying to convince her to get help
Gotcha.
early on because he's like, this is not right.
Yeah. It's wild. Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
What was the actor we were talking about in the regular episode? Terrence something?
Howard?
Howard.
Dude, do you know his backstory? Speaking of trauma,
No.
watched his dad stab someone to death when he was 2 years old,
Oh my gosh.
That could mess you up.
and his parents divorced as soon as he got out of jail.
That's your way right then?
That's our guy.
That's our frequency guy.
Do you know how much he was paid for Hustle and Flow?
$10.
It made a ton of money. It made a ton of money. He got paid $12,000.
What?
That's it. You can. There's an interview. He sit down in the interview. That's what I thought you were bringing up earlier.
Oh,
He made
no.
only $12,000,
Wow.
because the people that that's why the strike thing. He was talking that during the strike. He's like, he says, I haven't been getting money, and he's like, he's trying to make new rules for AI and stuff, and for certain people to own contracts over music, because that music soundtrack has, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, millions of dollars of streams, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, and he's not getting paid anything
Oh
of
my
that,
gosh.
or you got paid
Dang,
$12,000, man. Give him a bonus or something.
That's crazy.
You know.
Crooked.
I always wonder though, because like you remember like the women's national team in soccer, right? They were all like angry about what they were getting paid, but they
Because
all
they agreed that on that contract.
but they agreed it'd be better to take a flat rate instead of like percentage. And so I always wonder, like, there's contracts are funny, and like sometimes I feel like people after the fact just get angry because something blew up, but I don't know.
Always read your contracts before signing.
Yes.
It's like I signed here. I thought I was going to get paid. I didn't realize this was an unpaid internship, and I'm stuck.
Have you guys ever heard of Saint Basil?
I've heard Saint Time.
This guy, his name was Saint Basil, and he was called Saint Basil, the Fool for Christ. And it was this guy. It was probably like the 14 or 1500s in Russia, and he became so endowed, I guess you could say, with pursuing Christ that he sold all of his possessions, got rid of everything, and would basically walk around in a loincloth. But he was so impactful in the community. Like he would always, like they called it the detoxification centers, I guess, were a thing. And he would go and like give them like mental support spiritually, mentally.
It's like a rehab back in the day.
Yeah, something like that. But he would just like always go around proclaiming of like just pursuing Christ with everything you have, all that stuff. And then there's like just weird scenarios to where it's like kind of miraculous things were happening wherever he was, and people started to take notice of it. And then there was this man or the ship sailing, they're like Parisian, I don't know what they were, but they were sailing and they hit a storm, and then this man like looked out and they like lost their way, they didn't know how to get back. And he looked out and he saw what appeared to be a man on the water pointing them in the right direction. And then they got to the port and St. Basil was there, and he said, "You're the man that was guiding us back to the shoreline." And he's like, "No." And just like was like playing off like that wasn't me. And then that sailor, that whoever they were, they went to the emperor and they told him about this man. And so the emperor brought him to a dinner, and he was just like, sitting in his loincloth and stuff. And then there was one point where St. Basil was sitting by a window and had his glass of wine and dumped it out 3 times. And the emperor got mad. And he's like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm sorry, I'm trying to put out a fire that's in such and such place." And he's like, "What?" So they sent a messenger or someone to go look, and that place was on fire.
Whoa.
But then the people at the fire were reporting a man that wasn't dressed trying to put the fire out.
What?
It was just like this really weird stuff. But this man, he was so humble and never took credit for any of this stuff. He was always like, "It's Christ. Christ is everything." And like, so what, he was never trying to proclaim his own name, but people were like treating him as like something higher, but he never wanted to be that.
Jeez.
Like that's why he always wore the loincloth and stuff.
Yeah, like so humbling.
And when he died, the emperor held this mass funeral for him.
Wow.
And they ended up constructing a temple in Russia that is dedicated to him, St. Basil, the Fool for Christ.
I've never heard that. That's amazing.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
That'd be a cool tattoo.
What?
A man in a loincloth.
Yep.
A naked man putting out a fire.
Gotta put out fire. But yeah, I thought
That's
it was
wild,
crazy.
man. That's such a fun story.
Yeah.
I love that.
St. Basil, the Fool for Christ.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have,
Take a picture of.
The way you spelled bachelor.
that was me. I just scribbled. I don't know.
Why do you always just assume?
BACHLEOR, right?
Lily just assumes anything
ELOR.
that is dumb,
ELOR.
anything that is dumb, a mistake, it just has to be me.
Yeah. Oh, let's document this forever.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Is it to pick on people?
Speaking
Hurt
of picking
their
on
feelings?
speaking of picking on people, I have a fun story.
Tear them down?
Tearing them down.
Just kidding. Yeah, go
Keep
for
going.
it.
Tell us, Andy.
Imagine you're at your father's. Not your. This is hypothetical, right?
Okay.
You're at your father's deathbed. He's
Jeez.
there. You're having a
What's wrong
conversation with him.
you?
Imagine.
This is a story. This is not your actual real life. And your father, Ted, tells you his name is actually Thomas.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Because in 1961, he decided to rob a bank of $215,000 and then move across the country, change his name,
Yeah.
and start a life. And that's literally what happened in this news article that I just read today.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I mean, no joke. The dude stole $215,000 and just walked into it was a actual vault in a bank, put it in a bag, and then was just never heard of again. Just dropped off the face.
Did
of
he
the
have
earth.
a family?
No,
And then
it was
left
just him.
Just him?
It was just
But
him.
then he started a family as
Yeah.
a result.
And
Yeah.
he never told anyone until.
Never went.
His
Literally,
deathbed.
I was like, at that point, do you just die with that? Because Matt and the courts are saying they found out, and they, obviously nothing's being liable for the mom and child, but
Yeah.
apparently they reported that. But it's like, what do you do with his assets? What do you do with the house? What do you do with anything?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That'd be so scary.
He's
It's probably
pretty
the,
wise.
What's the thing called where you commit a crime and there's a certain time that passed?
Statute of limitations.
Yeah. I wonder if it applied to that.
Is that-
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What a way to go.
I know. I wish everybody did that. On your deathbed, you tell the truth.
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Yeah. What are you hiding?
That we could find out about every murder that we're just dying to know. We could find out about.
Oh, you're saying like if
Everybody
everyone
had to.
Like they had really there's like a receipt that comes out of the back of the head or something like
Yeah.
that. It's like all the lies. Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
Funeral homes would go out of business
Why?
because no one would pay for a funeral. They'd be like, "This dude sucked."
Yeah.
It was a joke. It flopped. It's okay.
The invisible string.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it. This is resonating
here.
with me really deeply because the older I get, the less I believe in like coincidence.
Sure.
And I just feel like there have been so many situations like this in my life. So the invisible string
Bring.
is the idea that you can be interconnected with a person in your life that appears at random times and then they don't like fully integrate into your life because you're not ready for them yet or whatever.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah, there's like, it's trending on TikTok right now.
Oh, there's another.
Well, you showed me one last night. Remember, it was like
It's
this
that whole-
picture.
You know me.
Oh, dude, it's so scary.
And I know you.
Yeah, and it was that picture of her parents and her in-laws sitting together at a baseball game.
But there's the even crazier one to where it was
like
these two friends at college. They're like, we're such good friends, we like might as well just share the same brain. And both of their parents were married on the exact same day, exact same year, and both of the moms were wearing the exact same dress.
What?
It was weird.
Yeah.
Don't
It's just
like that.
It's weird things like that, right? And then I just think about like how you and I got together.
Yes.
I don't know if that's coincidence or the invisible string, but just little things in life that have brought us together. Like I went on a cruise with your sister when I was 15. Maybe it's because we live in a small town. I don't know.
Did you really? Did you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. There was because I traveled all the time, but my stepdad was from Southeast Kansas, so that's like we'd either go there for like if we needed to go to school there for a couple months or something, we would go back and we'd stay there and then leave. I went there. We lived there for a couple months, and I played football, and I broke my wrist in an away game, right? And I like literally they had to stop the game, the ambulance and everything came out. I was on a stretcher, like it was bad. Kelsey was in the stands 5 years before we even met, literally at that game because that was her school.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like one of those things she remembers.
Yeah.
Her friends talking about like, oh, I broke this dude's wrist in football. Right. And they're like, and she like literally made jokes about it and like she had heard about it and she remembers it and everything.
Wow.
I was like, so it's just things like that. It's like, that's strange to me too. Because
Yeah.
I had moved so much before then and so many things had to happen for us to go there because she moved to my school later on. Because
there
it
was
wild.
another one where this couple, they were in like the Peace Corps or something. Peace Corps? Peace
No,
Corps.
Peace
It's
Corps.
pronounced Peace Corps, yeah.
Peace Corps. They
Marine
were like
Corps.
I think that's what they're part of, but they're stationed in Thailand, and they both like liked each other but never said anything. And then, basically, sequence of events, they got together, and 7 years later, he proposed, and they were going back to Thailand to elope or have a wedding there, and she went to go pick out a wedding dress. She went to a store. And she wanted a wedding dress with lace on it and asked the guy, like, do you have anything with lace? And he's like, I have one. And she put it on and it fit exactly perfect. No alterations at all.
Wow.
And he was like, she's like, I love this. I'll take this. And he like got emotional about it. And he said, I designed that dress and made it 7 years ago. And just because I had a dream to make it.
Oh my gosh.
And then she's like, 7 years ago, I met my fiance in this exact city. And then he's like, that's wild.
That's
And then
weird.
they
Get
took
ready for
pictures.
her.
They
That's
took
cool, though.
pictures in it at their wedding. And she sent it to him. And he says, this is exactly what my dream looked like.
Dang.
Bro.
Wild.
Dude, Paige and I trip out because she used to vacation in our hometown, or my hometown.
Yeah.
Was our hometown for a while. But we want to know if we've met. Because
Yeah.
like I worked in the tourist industry and was like always on the beach. And so there's like high probability that her and I were like walking across each other's paths and had no idea.
It's crazy. I just think about, like, with us, all the weird things that stand out to me in my memory. Like, I remember my friend's mom was, like, giving me a pep talk. I know I've told this before, but they were like, you're so cool. You could marry Josh Hooper. Like, when I was, like, 12 or something
That's
like
so
that.
funny.
And then, we leave, we do our thing, and I guess you had moved home, and I'm in Publix, and I'm shopping, and you're shopping. Picture that.
Cute.
And
Cute.
I walk in front of you while you're staring at the aisle, looking for whatever Asian condiment you were buying. And I'm like holding my breath.
You say hi?
No.
Do you have
You guys
No,
just
he also
saw
did
each
not-
other?
He
I
did
didn't
not
see
notice
her.
me at all.
Wow, you
He
creepazoid.
didn't notice me at all.
Ew. I was like, okay, then you introduced, you said a line or something. I was like, you just stared at him?
No, I walked past him and I held my breath.
But then with the
Did you
Sunday
breathe
Cool
in?
thing in the yearbook.
Yeah, and And then I come to work at Sunday School. My mom has a yearbook open and all that stuff. And
That's
Anyway.
so funny.
Didn't she circle my face?
she put
or
a
something?
Post-it note on your picture and said, "What if you dated?"
So you only married Josh because you wanted to be cool? You're like, I got to prove
Yeah.
how cool I am.
I remember talking to Cassie about it because when we went on that cruise, I told her, I said, "Your brother's so hot, like totally hot."
I tell her
like,
that all the
ew.
time. I
And
say,
she's
your
like,
brothers are so hot.
And then she said to me when we were talking, we had just started dating, and I was like, "He's just so hot." And she said, "Is that the only reason why you want to date him?" Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
Listen,
how could you
I
not?
get
Listen, I hear you and I get it.
No, it trips me out though, like those stories of like the weird coincidences.
That's
Yeah.
my thing. It's like, I think the more we develop our technology and we just evolve as a human race, I think we're going to be able to look back at more things because we're seeing this technology expose all of this past history
Yeah.
that we had no idea was all connected. As like, so when we zoom out, it's like, is God just saying literally my fingerprint? Like this
I
is
know.
literally,
Ah.
of course. It's like, yeah, now you're seeing it. Now that people can research and make connections, it's like, yeah, it's like just breadcrumbs.
So weird.
It's
wild stuff.
Wow. But then I also met somebody that says every time she sees a butterfly, she says that's an angel. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
Hey, you never know.
I'm not sure. That's what I said. I
Well,
don't know
no,
about
I
that.
mean,
I'm
like-
not sure.
You could be entertaining angels unawares.
Unawares?
That's what it says.
Not unawares. Unaware. Right?
I don't know.
Unawares
I
isn't
don't-
a word,
I
is
don't
it?
know what you're
I'm
quoting.
gonna look.
Grammatically correct. Unawares? It'd be unaware.
It's called underwear, guys. Golly.
Listen, I don't doubt the butterfly thing though. Like I
Every butterfly is
no,
an
no,
angel?
No, but I'm just saying when I was in high school,
I'm right.
Yeah.
huh?
I'm right.
You're right.
Yes.
Unawares?
King James Version.
Ow.
Wait, and ASV?
Unawares.
ESV is also unawares.
There's got to be some type of root
trans-
word for it. Yeah.
It's
But when I was in high school, this is weird,
Okay.
but like anytime I saw a hawk, I felt like there was a spiritual protection in that moment, like an angel or something.
You had an unexplained feeling that for some reason that you felt that way.
And then when I see or saw and still see an owl, I think I feel the opposite. And it could just be I'm afraid of owls.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's like it was just weird growing up. Like anytime I saw a hawk, I'm like, okay, there's some sort of protection or something, you know?
And I wonder where that stems from because it's like it could be internal. It could be something we watched as a kid that got, I don't know.
I don't know.
Feels like owls are watching you and hawks are like guarding a property.
Did you say that my grandma called me a hawk?
Yeah, that was another thing.
What?
Her grandma gave all the kids like animals,
Uh-huh.
and she said that Lily was a hawk. And so when I told Lily my story, she's like, that's so weird. My grandma said that I was a hawk.
That's
Which is why
wild.
we want to name our son Hawk and why it's so dumb that Josh's brother is trying to take that name.
Why would you say that?
He's not going to watch us.
He might.
He's not a Patreon
let's-
subscriber.
I know,
Let's-
but he's not taking the
Well,
name.
we need to cut that.
He's no longer taking the name.
He's not taking the name.
What is
But
the
he
new
was
name? What
for
is
a minute.
he was.
What was the name? What's the
Hawk.
name he chose now?
Oh,
Dahi.
William. Dahi
Dahi.
William.
Dahi
Yeah.
William.
You want me to cut that?
No, it's fine. Yes. But yeah, I don't know. I was going to say something. Oh, my sister. This is wild. My sister growing up always.
Jeez.
What was that?
Your
Your reaction scared me more,
Someone
Andrew.
hit this wall.
My sister growing up, she always claimed to see her guardian angel, and we're just like, okay, well, yeah, that's sweet, Cassie. You know, but she was like, I saw her. I saw him. You know, and there was a time where my mom and her were like driving down the interstate, and Cassie was like just playing with like dolls or something in the backseat. She was like, I don't know, 6
Yeah.
or so. And something happened, and my mom, like, a car hit and like just like right in front of them, but it like was so close to like them getting in like a really bad accident. Cassie was unaware. And she's like, "Oh, Mom, look, it's the angel on the road." And I'm like, yeah,
Bro.
we're all like, "Oh my gosh,
man.
this is wild stuff, man."
Dude, yeah. See, that's I don't know. It excites me, but also it's all like you also just don't know whenever we're gonna get answers, and so it's like
We will one day.
I know, but it's like, will we understand everything like that? Like, we'll be able to look back on our
don't
life
think
and be
we'll
like,
care.
I know that's the thing, but it's like I care now
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
So it's like I know I'll never know, so that bums me out.
Someone knocking? Oh, goodness gracious!
You've
Oh,
been uneasy since my reaction.
I know.
How long have we gone?
5 hours, 35 minutes.
I think you're also uneasy because your back is facing the door.
Yeah, dude. Anytime I'm at a restaurant
oh,
or
yeah.
any scenario, I always have to sit in a seat to see the door.
It's a dude thing.
That's why I hated my first desk. I didn't hate it like when I started, but like when I started noise canceling headphones, I think that's when it started for me. When I put noise canceling headphones on in the room, everything was behind me. I couldn't see who came through the door.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are gonna really, hopefully, like our next episode
Yeah,
because there's a surprise, and I hope it works out.
Yeah,
That we're gunning for it
What do you mean?
with Andy.
Yeah, it's gonna work out.
Hopefully,
What are you talking about?
I don't want to say that it
there's
is,
been
and
some
that
there's been some changes to the original plan,
Been some
so
developments.
I think we're just hoping for the best.
So we'll see. Either way, it's going to be a really fun episode. Anthony Russo's going to be on it.
Making a comeback. You guys are the only ones that know.
Our
Yeah.
seasonal guest.
Yeah. So there we go. All
Thank
done.
you. Patrons, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks,
thank
guys.
We hope you guys are doing well and having a good time and enjoying the stuff.
Yeah,
We love you.
I love you.
What do you want me to say? I love you.
Okay,
Bye bye.
bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Did I say ninja? I meant
The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations.
Does it empty your mind?
You learn martial arts!
ninjas attack!
Your best outro whoosh. Oh, that was it.
Nailed it.